What's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to Get Hit with the Truth. So today we're doing the What's Next on Callum Smith, the former super middleweight champion, as he competed on the Usyk Joshua undercard on DAZN on August 20th and took on Matthew Bauderleek in a WBC eliminator and dominated him, stopping him in 4 rounds as he remains unbeaten since the Canelo loss. He's 2-0 now. He's 2-0 since that loss, and you know, that was only the first loss of his career, but he's undefeated as a light heavyweight at 175. And now, you know, the big question is, what's next for Callum Smith? Well, I'd be very surprised if he doesn't get, well, let's jump into things. Let's jump into the top 10, and we'll look at that. So number 1, Arthur Beterbiev, the reigning unified champion, holds 3 of the 4 titles, and he holds the belt where Callum Smith is number 1 contender. So you would think naturally Callum Smith's most likely gonna fight Beterbiev next. But I don't think that's necessarily the case, and the reason is that would have been all set up fine if Beterbiev would have followed through and fought Anthony Yarde in October. Well, that doesn't look like it's going to happen. Now, Beterbiev's people are saying it's only going to be delayed by a few weeks. They're still going to fight. So I'm thinking maybe late November, possibly December, we see Beterbiev and Anthony Yarde. So that might free up the first half of the year for Beterbiev and Callum Smith. Because I think after Beterbiev, if he defeats Anthony Yarde or Anthony Yarde defeats Beterbiev, I think after that, it's very likely that the WBC orders the mandatory for Callum Smith to fight the winner, because 1, he is the mandatory, but 2, Canelo Alvarez is not going to allow Dimitri Bivol. You know, Canelo Alvarez wants Bivol in a rematch. So as long as Bivol Bivol defeats Gilberto Ramirez, which I have him winning that fight, but hey, Ramirez does have a serious shot to pull it off, but I have him winning the fight there, Bivol, then that takes away the opportunity for an undisputed title clash right there. Now, if Gilberto Ramirez pulls off the upset, maybe we could see undisputed in the first half of the year, because Canelo has stated that he doesn't want to fight Mexicans, and he's not interested in fighting, he wouldn't be interested in fighting Gilberto Ramirez, but he wants to fight Bivol. So, you know, it's interesting, and to see what, it's going to be interesting to see if Beterbiev and Callum Smith can happen next. I really think it can, and I think it will. I think Callum Smith has waited around already since the Canelo loss. It's been almost 2 years this December since that loss. He's only fought twice, a total of about between 5 and 6 rounds now. So I think he's training hard. I think he likes being at 175, and I don't think he wants to take too much risk in losing his potential, his shot at the world title. So I really think that Arthur Beterbiev could be next for Callum Smith. Dimitri Bivol. I don't see Bivol being an option next. Bivol, if he defeats Gilberto Ramirez and Canelo beats Triple G, it's most likely going to see Bivol against Canelo in their rematch in next May, in my opinion. So that's what I think is going to happen there. Gilberto Ramirez. Well, if Gilberto Ramirez pulls off the upset and defeats Dimitri Bivol, you know, Callum Smith's number 1 contender to Beterbiev. Although I think, you know, Eddie Hearn might try to make that fight. I think the fact that Joshua Bellati is number 1 contender would probably be more appealing for Eddie Hearn to make that fight with Gilberto Ramirez in the first half of the year instead. So I think it's possible if Ramirez pulls off the upset over Bivol, but I think it's more likely that Eddie Hearn puts Bellati in line for Bivol, or for Ramirez first. Joe Smith Jr. I don't see the 2 Smith guys colliding. Joe Smith's coming off of a pretty bad knockout loss. A pretty bad knockout loss to Beterbiev, only 2 rounds. and he was done with. I think he's going to take some time off before he decides if he wants to really compete on a serious level again. Following that is Anthony Yarde. Well, yeah, this one could be possible. If Anthony Yarde pulls off the upset over Beterbiev and beats him, then basically I think it's very possible that the WBC would order Yarde to fight the #1 contender, Callum Smith. But that's got to happen first, and I'm leaning. I think Beterbiev is a good solid favorite, and I think he's going to beat Anthony Yarde. But I wouldn't be surprised if Anthony Yarde pulls off the upset. So I think that one is definitely possible if Yarde can get Beterbiev out of there. That's a tall order, though. Then you got Jean Pascal. Pascal seems to be in negotiations for a IBF eliminator right now against God, who was it? I'm drawing a blank on who that is with right now. But he's in an eliminator right now, and God damn it, I'm drawing a blank on who he's in an eliminator against. It's a younger, solid fighter on the rise right now. So that one, though, I mean, it would be nice to see those two guys lock it up, but I don't think that's going to go down. I don't think that's going to be the fight that happens for Callum Smith. Then you got Marcus Brown, former world title challenger. Not likely. Callum Smith is already the #1 contender. He does not need to take a step back and fight a guy who was the last #1 contender for the WBC title in Marcus Brown and got stopped by Beterbiev. That one wouldn't make sense, so I don't see that one. Then you got Unieski Gonzalez. Not likely. He's coming off a loss to Gilberto Ramirez. Callum Smith wouldn't want to take that chance against him. And then you got Joshua Bellati, who I think, this one probably makes the most sense if the Beterbiev fight doesn't happen. I would love to see those two guys lock horns and go against each other. I think that one would make a lot of sense, and I think it could potentially happen. So, for Callum Smith, I really think the winner of Beterbiev and Anthony Yarde is going to be his next opponent, which I think is Arthur Beterbiev. If he wants to take on another opponent in the interim, while he's awaiting, or if Beterbiev can't fight next, I really think the possibility for Callum Smith and Joshua Bellati should happen. They're both Eddie Hearn guys. It makes a lot of sense. But to be honest, Bellati might be the guy fighting Jean Pascal in that final eliminator. Don't hold me to that, but it just might be him. But Callum Smith has set himself up in position to fight for a major world title, and Beterbiev is the real deal. So that's going to be very, very interesting to see if those two guys are locking up. But that's what I got. That's the what's next on Callum Smith, the former super middleweight champion, following his dominating 4th round TKO victory over Mathieu Batterleek. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.